Yo, what's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Hope you guys are having a good afternoon, good night, good evening, whatever time it is there. Gonna give a few moments for everybody to hop on, and see what everybody's doing, and wait for people to show. I'm gonna go ahead and retweet my tweet. If you guys can retweet the one with restream, that would be fantastic. And there we are. Two viewers, MVPs. Yo. Smokey! You gotta give it a minute, man. Just for that, if you don't mind telling me your position so we can go ahead and get your stops ran, sir. Thank you. No, I'm not gonna change that yet. Alright, well, I'm sure this will be here for everybody and they will hopefully hop on. Fingers crossed. Still zero. Okay. So that should be good to go. Let's go ahead and go over here. This is a Bitstamp. I haven't really done anything, but this is a great example to start off with. My whole big thing with Bitcoin is we never broke this high area. 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 Um, the only time we did is when we dumped really aggressively. We went sideways for quite some time, and then we had a push back upwards. So this I don't believe is right over here because same thing over here. We haven't broken a high structure. High structure over here. We got double topped out over here, which is worse. So I mean, I could see where Moon Boys are saying like 10 keks and whatever or 9.5 or something, but I mean, I really don't think 12,000 is in the works, even for the halving. I mean, who knows? We could see what's gonna happen here, but the biggest thing for me to get bullish is once we get to this area right around here, around this 9,000 area, how we react, because we've had a pretty bad run most of the time up here at 9K. So 9.5 over here is the main level that I'm focused on. This meets up with several other things, which would be this, and this. I could focus on top structure, but I'm more so looking for consolidation up here, because if we get a nice enough consolidation at this point, once we are up here, it'll just explode on up. I mean, there's a little bit of a slight chance for a triple top, but once again, that's something we can worry about afterwards. I don't trade triple tops, I'll trade a double and things like that. But we will turn on the Ichi for shits and giggles too. I gotta change the settings. Okay. So Ichi wise, why am I on Bitstamp? One sec. Yo, Bagsy, hello, man. How you doing, dude? Um, Ichi wise, I mean it's not bad. I don't understand why the cloud isn't turning yet, and I do not like this wick over here. But overall, we formed a bullish TK over here. 20 SMA is cutting up aggressively. We are flattening out over here a little bit, so this isn't the best look over here with this candle and the fact that we haven't had any change over here. So right now looks like this is probably what's gonna happen. So we will probably dump here and we'll be looking for areas around this purple area if this is going to be a support test, or if this is going to be a breakout. Multiple areas over here that it'll be important. So the 72 area, 7,000 area, maybe a reload double for longs if you do believe in it to be bullish. The 20 SMA will tap, the 10 candle tap, top of the cloud will tap, PA action, the triangle, this little breakout area will tap. So many things will be going on at this level. You'll definitely want to pay attention. Upper level wise, what do we got going on here? One second. I trade levels, so that's why I have so many levels. But yeah, so we like had a little bit of a run here. I couldn't find the tweet, but I remember one of the guys traded wrote something about it and I retweeted it and basically said that this is the level that we'll be looking to see if we can flip over it. And the fact that we got a candle into it is just horrible because that's not good. We really need to get back over here. So we have this line drawn over here. If we can consolidate around here and get moving, maybe we can see some more action. But we really need to consolidate in here, and then we can aim for a little bit higher. The chart over here looks a little different as well. No, it doesn't. Looks the same. Oh, I am on the same chart. Good. But yeah, that's pretty much with Bitcoin. The one I am a little salty about is, where are you? There we go. Yeah, really salty about this one. Missed my bids, every single one of them. I shot way too low here, so really salty, and I didn't get back in. So I'm hoping this comes out and dumps. But I said this one before. I'm basing this off of like macro levels. If this area holds and we can flip over it, this will be nice. If not, I still have bids set down lower. ETH USD. Um, yeah, same situation with Bitcoin. If it could do what Bitcoin did, where it blows through and pops out, but Bitcoin is king and the leader, so it's gonna need a little bit more from Bitcoin over here. 20 SMA is curving, but I tell you guys before, like this V-shaped 20 SMA bend, and everything isn't the best over here. So we really need this to push through. We need the price action to get over here for ETH and start consolidating over 190. Then we will be good to go over here. Until then, yeah, I'm not really interested. Besides, I don't like trading rises up. I'll trade rises up, but when I'm trading like the first three moves, I don't like the last couple moves in there. Just because I just feel like it's increasing your risk. EOS. I mean, most of these are in the same situation. It just gets worse and worse and worse when I look at the other couple of the other majors like Litecoin. I mean, way more room and way more effort needed to work over here. So if we're looking at this one on crypto settings and we see a breakthrough on here, but we're still seeing a fake out over here on the cloud formation, I don't know. And we have a shitty candle over here, but nothing else is made up. So either Bitcoin is going to go ahead and explode from over here and go ahead and hit 85 and 84, which will allow all these to go ahead and push through and get into here. But when I look at like EOS, Litecoin, ETH USD, they have a lot of work to do on each. I mean, even at PA structures, I can pull up, which would be over here. So over 200, it needs to consolidate right underneath 200, just in PA sense, and then explode through. So really not much going on crypto's end for me. I mean, I am in a little bit of a short. I mean, it's not that big of a position anymore, but I am in a short. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll enter in more. Let's look at regular markets. That's the money maker. This week, GDX giving me like shitload of gains from 3 cents to 53 cents. Fucking actually, let's look at metals. Fuck this. That was just stellar. I mean, man, nuts. I've been chilling this stuff for a while now. So yo, gold. Once I watched that magic video and the guy made like so much sense to me, and I did my own little bit of research, I was just like, wow, this makes so much sense. And yeah, made me tons of money too. And we got GLD going for all-time highs, just pushing levels. I'm loving it more than a V reversal on these things. What else do we have over here? GDX was the one. Yeah, GDX did kind of top out over here today, so I should have probably taken profits. But I have a bunch of time left on my hands. So if you guys can get a pullback in any of these levels, it would be nice. Um, there's a little bit of a worry. So I'll feel a lot safer around May 20th and at the end of May with GDX, just because right now we have such a big gap over the Ichi for this one. I mean, it's going to rely on price action as well, but if we're looking at rejections over here, I have lines drawn based off of other macro levels on the monthlies, and I mean, we're hitting some bad levels with this bad rejection over here outside of the B bands push. So, I mean, a little extended. I mean, it could keep going. I mean, we keep printing out money like this. What is going on in chat? Okay, I keep forgetting to pull up my chat for. No, that's not that. We're going for. What's the restream? Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna get chat open for people over here on Periscope, so you guys can show me something. And I'll go over a couple plays I'm interested in doing as well, so might as well log in here. I didn't get to check any kind of order flow today. Yo, Beastie, what's up, man? Ah, Beastie has hopped onto the correct side. He did go long, but he's back on the short side. So we'll see what happens here. I was just about to go over a legacy review, but I was just complimenting on how good metals have been paying out and just how nicely they are, and seeing if there's any ones that still have room to grow. I'm a little curious on why Nougat is lagging. So I'll have to look into that. I'm sure it's something I don't know, and that probably has to more do with the fact that this is a two times thing and not exactly the same thing as the other ones. But I mean, GDX, if I look at it, has tons of room to grow as well. Let's see, RGLD. Yeah, this monster has been just crazy. It went back to all these levels. So if we can get a pullback on RGLD, I would definitely be interested. But right now it looks like metals are going to be going down, and that concerns me because technically metals go down when stock market goes up. So, but recently what we've been doing is we've been just everything's just all been correlated. Metals have been going up and down the same way SPX has been going down. I mean, recently they stopped doing that, but just not too long ago they were doing the same thing. So I'm curious what happens here if this is going to end up being a top for metals and a push for SPY. SPY Ichi wise on just regular settings, very very nice. We had a I didn't even turn it on at the right time, but we had a bullish TK over here. We're getting a push. We tapped to the right to the top of the clouds. We're in the clouds now, but we're having a rejection at the top of the clouds. Not only that, this is the same channel I think I've been showing on Twitter that I've been watching. So we broke out of here yesterday. Didn't really It wasn't really too strong, so we popped back up over. We had a little run out of the clouds, but now it's just basically back into the clouds. So we'll see if we can get price action to pretty much get into this area, or at least go make another attempt to attack up here. If it doesn't and it goes underneath here and this turns, closes and opens up red, yeah, this will definitely come test around over here. We have levels lower, but we're not really making any lows or highs, so I think that's what people call an inside week. All in space and piton. Space. Let's see. Virgin Galactic. Bro, this thing's so ugly. But it is heading up to the red zone. I don't know why I drew this box now. But right, reaching the 20 SMA. If it holds the 20 SMA, it looks like it's gonna flip. That would be great. Earnings coming up though, so that's a hard pass for me. I'll wait for earnings to play out and see what happens. If it dips aggressively but holds up higher high structures, yeah, then that'll be a good to go because there's not really any kind of gaps on the downside. We had a gap over here and we filled it. Now we have yeah, I think we are all gap filled on space, so it's up in the air. I mean, there's a little gap over here. So, what was the other one? Huge short SQQ. Okay, let's check SQQ. Wait. Oh, just regular. I was like, wait a second. Okay. Yeah, see, this makes some sense to short. We're having black line getting into the green line, which is pretty bad. Stock RSI is coming down. See if I can find a channel. I don't want to fit my bias. I could, but I try not to. I'm gonna go over a couple questions too in a moment. I'm just checking some charts. I had a lot of people DM me some really interesting questions about options and just basic ones, but it's something that I'm seeing like a lot of people ask me, so I will go over them. Just want to go ahead and check a couple things. I didn't get to check order flow today, so I will check with you guys. So this is how sometimes I trade my options. I like looking at options order flow and seeing what sticks out to me and what I'm used to and what works for me. Um, People ask me all the time. They're like, "Well, what kind of strike do you like picking, or what kind of expiration do you like picking?" That all depends on your risk and the time you have to put out. If you're somebody that has a lot of time, doesn't have a family, doesn't have kids, and is able to stare at the chart all the time, wonderful. You can go ahead and pretty much do whatever you want. You can either do short-term expirations, mid-term expirations, long-term expirations, whatever, because you'll be at the chart to manage your position. Then it comes down to whether what kind of risk you want to take. Weeklies and stuff are a little bit more riskier, and I don't really like doing them. They're more so also lottos for me. So I prefer things that are one anywhere between a month to 3 months out. Not necessarily saying I'm going to hold 1 or 3 months. It just leaves me a cushion for if I'm wrong and I can manage my position. So that's what I like to play. So I would really suggest whatever works for you. The way I use this sometimes is if I am going to take a play and I see something on the charts that I like, I'll look at the ticker and be like, hey, is it on order flow for today? Is it coming up with anything? Which ones are interesting? And if that's not the case, what I'll do is I'll gonna show you what I do right now. Basically, I'll look at a ticker and see if I like any of the order flow, and then it has to match up with my TA. I mean, that's one of the biggest thing on here. You can see order flow all day long and try to follow it, but the people who are playing with this one, you don't know how much money they have and how much they're willing to lose, and if this is a computer behind the screen. So, I mean, I try to have the most probability in my favor, so you can't just follow order flow. I would never just blindly follow it. Now, if your TA meets up with it and you're seeing things that are coming up, and I can give you guys examples. Like for example, I've been talking to you guys about a couple of these patterns. So if you're seeing price compress all the way up to here on this some sort of rising wedge over here or over here, that's when you'd be looking for some kind of order flow. Or when you're seeing like a bearish retest on things, that's when you'll be like, hey, we're seeing a bearish retest. Is there any kind of smart money or any kind of order flow that I would typically take coming up over here? And sometimes when I see it, I'll just be like, I just know because those are the ones I've played and experimented with that work for me. Let's see, what do we got here? So yeah, so I'm gonna go by lowest to highest. Looks like there's not many degens out today, so that's very good to see. Not too much crazy stuff going on here. IWM calls for tomorrow. Timing also matters because if they're doing it last minute, are we going to pump? What exactly are these guys doing? Right now, it's just the major names like IWM, USO. I'm going to go ahead and pass on those because one, I'm already in USO. I'm in both calls and shorts. Short-term calls, more so lottos, and long-term plays, more so leaps. Leaps are basically just yearly options. Once again, doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to hold a year. I'm going to hold whatever makes me profit. I mean, typically when I'm holding something like that, I want to at least make a minimum of 100%. Most of my plays, I mean, I aim for a minimum of 50 to 100%. So, one, because I got to pay capital gains tax, so each of my trades, I take that into account for. So, right off the bat, I'm like, hey, minimum I have to make on this trade is 30%. So, if I don't make 30%, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, it just ends up being more work if I don't aim for that. That's why I typically say to you guys, if I don't see my options start moving within the first couple, well, within a certain time period, and I start seeing my profit being stuck around 25 to 30%, and it's not exploding right away to 50 to 100%, I start getting a little worried because I'm like, man, is this going to move? Am I going to be stuck in this position? Things like that. So I do aim high for my price targets on there. Minimum 10 times. Sir, I'm looking for the next 10 times on there. I'm looking for the next plus 1000% I can get. I was looking for it with Marvel, but I ended up hitting magical numbers with GDX. So let me take a look at GDXJ. Okay, so I didn't see anything cheap order flow wise that I'm liking. I'm scrolling down a little bit. I don't not really not seeing any kind of dates. Dates wise, what would make sense to me now is let's see. So I'm going to stick with the motto of sell in May and go away. So we'll see how that reacts on the first of the month of May, first week of May, and we'll go from there. So right now I'm looking for plays in July, August, September, possibly October. We can push out to November too, but not really looking for December, but more so November. December will cost me too much money, I already know, and so will January's already the prices are riding up for premiums now for January, so I got to be really selective. But December, I'm not going to play. That one just doesn't make sense. Most of the options I looked at. But November, October, any of these dates prior to November is good for me. But nothing sooner than yeah, nothing sooner than July. I mean, maybe June if I really see something nice. But I think we're getting to the point where it's a little too late for June. First, we're going to check my position, see. All right, all right. So you got some guys betting some short-term pumps up on my EEM plays, but for the most part, you got people betting puts. Nice put over here, too costly. It's a split, so he made two different bets here. Split basically means they're betting both sides. They're splitting their order apart. Sweep means they're buying that shit right away, and it's somebody that has high interest in it. They're just buying it. Versus a block order, which is mostly institutions that are buying it in sections, or so a big player that's buying it in uh, sectionalized orders rather than, hey, I'm gonna come through and buy out this. So The ones you got to watch out for are the guys who do the splits and the blocks because they're a little harder to interpret, especially if you're not used to what you're seeing and you're just kind of doing it willy nilly. But the sweeps are a little easier. But I like it. I have puts around this date, so that is good to go. And if I do start losing money, I'll try to see if I can roll them over into something with a little bit more time. But that is EEM for now. GDXJ, I want to check the chart for that because I don't know that one. The junior miner is extended as hell. So I could always hedge my calls that I do have with puts and see if I can roll them over just because I have a lot of time on my hands. So if I do puts and I do good on the puts, whatever profit I make on those puts will just get rolled over into my calls. And once price action starts getting back into my favor and we start seeing volatility over here, that's when I'll start making money on everything on my cost average positions. But not only that, I'll make even more money obviously when we get back to my regular basis if we do. So GDXJ is one I want to look into for puts, just to hedge and see if there is anything. And there isn't. They're all moon boys for GDXJ, and they're expensive ones too. But I like this one. 515, so short-term play. Actually, way too short. I'm sorry. Yeah, the only thing that really sticks out would be is this short-term puts play, but it's $4.75, so that is a big pass for me, and that's kind of normal at this point. $35 is, yeah, that's more in the money play. So there's time. So the reason this one's priced more expensively is because one, he's picking in the money. More you pick the calls in the money, they're going to be more expensive for you. Out of the money is going to be less expensive because out of the money you're betting on price to hit way more than something that's already in the money. Already in the money, you're betting on open interest and Greek values and a whole bunch of other things. So in the money is a different type of playing as well as out of the money, but that's just a broad explanation right there. So GDXJ is a pass right off the bat. I don't like it. Um, let's see what else I got for you guys. Let's look at these tech stocks. INTC loses this line, it's all over. 20 SMA will be the last hope line, but once that loses, that'll be bad. When's this earnings? Oh, earnings was today. Oh, they did an earnings report. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, this is something to watch because if this gets too low and it gets underneath the red line, that's bad news bears, or even this one or underneath the dotted lines. The stock underneath the dotted and this magic stuff underneath the red line. That'll be bad. So we'll see how this one goes. I mean, overall, the daily, as long as it doesn't lose the 20 SMA, will be good. AMD, right off the bat, I'm noticing, hey, there's this top area, and we kind of went into it and failed, and now we're trying again for it. But we're trying with a destructive candle, but the candle also filled the gap, which was pretty amazing. Almost filled it. So we'll try to see if this is actually a gap or if this is just a mean guy that's just going to dump and it's going to come back down to probably here. That makes a little bit more sense. QCOM, we're having a little bit of trouble here. So, like I said before, this was the whole plan for like over a year now with Qualcomm. What we're looking at now is this is getting a bearish retest on the channel that we had drawn. So these are the kind of things that I'd want to look for puts on. This looks like a bearish retest to me, and this doesn't look like it's going to hold a 20 SMA, and we have earnings coming up on the 29th. So I can go ahead and see how earnings do for the rest of the week for things that are related with Qualcomm, or even go off like other ones and judge them and see, hey, are these actually going to move? Is there any kind of interest here? QCOM. And they're betting on both sides. How does one interpret both side plays? Well, you can look at the open interest, you can look at the volume, you can look at the price sizing. If you're gonna bet 68K, you're gonna bet. Okay, so if you're gonna bet on a position, people ask me that too. They're like, "Hey, can you bet? Do you bet on both positions?" I'm like, "Yeah, sometimes, but I do not pick the same sizing. I'm gonna put more sizing in the position that I think I have more confidence in, rather than the position that's gonna be a hedge for the wrong way." The only reason you're doing a 50-50 would be, I would assume, is because, well, I don't know why you would do a 50-50 unless you're just taking a chance and assuming one's gonna run, and they're lottos. But 50-50 with same position sizing is nuts. for example, like if I do like I like doing things for about like $1,000, $2,000 for option sizings. So why would I put 1,000 on one side, 1,000 on the other side, and then end up at break even? Because I told you guys I look for like 50% or 100%, but I mean I'll lose the 1,000 because if I do lottos, it'll just go to zero. But if I do just a little bit, and what I can happen then is like for example, this guy got time on his hand for about a month. Price action could go slightly down. The puts can make money. People will be like, hey, I think it's going to go lower and start piling into his puts over here. But he knows better that it's not going to break over here and it comes back up. But at that point, he's already out of his puts but is holding his calls. And these are sweeps, so you could see more people coming in to pile up on here. Um, so I hope that makes sense a little bit. What else do we got? Yeah, Qualcomm. Okay. So these are okay. These are decently priced. I think the best one out of here I like is this one or this one. 60, 57. Damn. 60 makes more sense. 57.50 is just kind of wild. But I like kind of wild. Let me give you guys an example about. Oh, look. This chat. Me too, Bagsy. Okay, hold on. Options profit calculator. We'll go ahead and check this out. And I'm going to go ahead and start answering those questions that people had asked me. Okay, so first questions we have. People always ask me this thing. I don't know what the huge interest is with what platform somebody trades on. If you have something that works for you and it has a platform that has that available, then do it. The only thing I know is that people who are outside of the USA typically get fucked on their options platforms. They don't have access to too much. So that is a huge, huge downside and a turnoff for people outside of the States, especially new people, because it's hard to get new people into something when it's like, hey, yeah, you can follow my lottos, but just keep in mind it's gonna cost you money to lose money. So that's why I don't always, yeah, paying $1.25 per contract. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna buy 1,000 contracts at $1.25. Oh, your position didn't work. All right, well we're gonna take your money, and now you owe us some money too. Oh, we're so sorry. So that's one of the biggest things over there. You don't want to go ahead and do that one. So that's horrible. I have a TD Ameritrade account, but I mean I use it frequently, but it's more so for they have a really good demo system. People ask me that all the time. They're like, "Hey, what's a good demo software?" TD Ameritrade right there. What else do we have? What do you recommend in order to sharpen TA skills? Any paid courses? No, you don't have to pay for TA to learn it. Unless you're one of those people that absolutely cannot understand and are just so retarded that they don't even know what the fuck they're doing and really need somebody to teach them. At that point, maybe you need somebody to help you or at least walk you through stuff. But if you have somewhat of a brain, you should be able to just Google the terms and start figuring out from there. I would say support and resistance is a great place to start, figuring out how you can identify support and resistances, and figuring out what candle structures look like what. That'll really, really get you started off on a good point. Once you can develop your TA skills, then you can get into options. If you just willy-nilly get into options, you better be an order flow trader or God or something because you're gonna lose your money. And you don't need Tony Vase, whatever that guy was saying on there, that you need $3,000 or you need big money to trade options. No, the whole point of options is because you can take a low account and turn it into a big account. I tell everybody my car payment thing. Like I've been doing this for an over a year now, where I take a little bit of money out of my regular paycheck, I put it into a YOLO options account, and I'll put half my car payment into there and try to see if I can either A, make my car payment, or B, I don't know, lose my money. But last 2 months, last I think it's about a month and a half ago at this point, but I had put in my $250 because my car payment's 400, and I was like, yeah, let's do this, and I ended up catching a lot of the dumps, so it was really nice, and I ended up turning that into 3 grand, and I was like, all right, cash that shit out, let's put that to my car. So that was one hell of a car payment. So it's definitely possible, but it's also possible to lose your money too. I'm not gonna say this stuff isn't risky. I mean, there's times. I mean, I'm in a situation right now where I'm a couple thousand down on my EEM play, and I'm like super worried about it because I was being a little bit stubborn. I cost averaged a couple times. So if I do end up losing on this position, that's gonna be a couple $1,000 hit, and it's gonna be hella annoying because I'm gonna have to work harder. That's the way I look at it. It's like I don't care about the money as much. I mean, I do care about the money, but I'm looking at this as in if I lose my money, I'm gonna have to work harder and put out more time to go ahead and make all that money back. And the reason I trade is because it's just perfect for my time. I work from home. It's just freaking awesome. I make money doing it. I wish I learned this stuff sooner. I would have never had to like do anything. I would have just been trading my whole life. Maybe not healthy, but definitely would have. Yo, Porky, you're nuts, man. I can't tell if you're being serious. Yeah, man. I typically that's how much I like doing is on average. Like if I do like in a play, I like putting at least $1,000 in. That doesn't mean necessarily I'm all like, hey, one single day I'm like, yo, let's go ahead and $1,000. But if I'm picking my options that are underneath 50 cents, yeah, definitely $1,000 would be good because sometimes I've turned that into a bunch. Especially when I'm telling you guys, hey, GDXJ or GDX, I just turned that from point zero 0.03 to point 55. I think I put like $800 at point zero 0.04. So just you guys can do the math from point zero 0.04 $800 to whatever. It's 52 cents this morning. It's at 33 cents now because I stayed up late playing Valorant and Minecraft and just didn't really wake up on market open. And at 10:30 it peaked. So, yeah, I mean it's really fun. I mean I don't like risking too little either, just because then I have my way of where I do position sizing. So I always like setting my orders in 4 sets of position sizings. So I do that with crypto too now, where the first order is going to be a small sizing position, second one's going to be a bigger, third one's going to be even bigger, and then there's a fourth one in there that's just absolutely stupid, which I hope never gets filled, but sometimes does get filled, and it's a good thing. So that's how I do it. So doesn't always mean I'm using big sizes, but like yeah, I mean I have a couple thousand in my one for EM, so really worried. Yeah, let's get back to this. Um, yeah, dude, this month has been really easy for me. It's been a little slow because like the way my portfolio has been going right now is since I am shorting the market a little bit, which I feel like has been a stupid thing this whole time. Like my one thing will do good, so I'll keep adding stuff into my long positions for leaps. So my portfolio keeps going like sideways down, but it's not really losing. It's sort of losing money, but it's building positions at the same time. So I think it'll be all right. First time doing leaps, but as far as like the numbers look on the charts and everything, it should be fine. Roku over here getting a bearish retest on that end. Triple, triple area. Beast mentioned something really interesting to me. I'm actually gonna go ahead and pull that up, cause I've seen this pop up before. Where is it? Okay, this guy. Yeah, you guys should read this. I'm gonna go ahead and retweet this. Retweet stream link. I'll just name it that so you guys know what to look for. Yeah, read that thing. Very informative. I mean, doesn't mean hey go follow directions from some guy named Raoul Pal with a check mark and a scarf around his neck, but definitely worth reading and taking some sort of information from there. Considering I don't know. That's bad. I mean, you guys don't have to listen. It's up to you. Tesla over here just I mean, it's forming those downside gaps. Last time it came down, it filled all those gaps except this little tiny one. I don't know what's going on over here, but this is going to be a little tough for Tesla. But overall, Tesla's been a monster. That's a huge pass for me. I don't like playing super big, super big names. The reason I don't like doing that for options is because it ends up costing me more money to play. Um, And I'll just use example, just because Dime likes doing more expensive plays than I like doing. He's playing a Microsoft play for $9. So each contract for him costs $900. Insane! I could never imagine paying $900 per contract just because I don't know. I like running up contract sizing because I'm used to trading on BitMEX. So I'm used to trading contracts, and I know how to play my contract game like a video game. So I know how to increase my contracts and manage my contracts properly. It's no different than I mean, I hate to use this as an example, but like old school RuneScape or like anything like World of Warcraft, any kind of those like auction house stuffs. Dude, that shit's so easy. If you know how to do that, you can trade. But that's I don't want to say that too much because then people be like, "Oh, you're not a trader, man. You're just basing this off video games." It's like, yeah, and I'm so glad because you can manipulate stuff because of that. EA, any kind of if we can get a support test over here at 107, I'm in. EA's one I really want to grab for long term. I don't like the recovery that we've had. Very strong recovery. I mean, this was such a strong recovery. And it was so aggressive too, because over here we did leak down, but we consolidated over here. But this recovery was just so strong. It's like nothing ever really happened. It actually, yeah, look at that. It hit all-time highs on this one, which is just nuts. So apparently, video game sector does not get affected. Here's an ETF for this one. ETF would be Hero ETF. Man, I have a spot bag of this because of Whale Bearman had mentioned this to me early on when it hopped in. So, um, it was at a loss every year. I was just gonna hold this one through, but yeah, man, this is nuts. This one's based off of really nice things too. I shield this website to a lot of people who, if you trade ETFs and you want to get a breakdown because you don't want to directly expose yourself to the ETF and you want to just go ahead and look at the weights on the ETF, Koifin is such a super helpful website. Not only that, they give you a nice little breakdown of either one year, like some of the yearly targets and everything like that, so you can really just quickly break it down and get a general understanding. Because if I see something that says it's been up for the last 1 month, two month, 100%, 900%, or anything over 100, I'm just like, all right, hard pass. But if I see something up 40%, I'm like, well, do you have room to grow here? So what was I checking? Hero. Hero Video Games and Esports ETF. The holdings on this one. Weighted holdings. Nintendo, Nvidia, NVDA, whatever, however you say that. Activision, EA, NetEase. I don't know what this is. NTES. I'm gonna go ahead and add that NTES. Feels like I can make money off of it. Um, Man, look at these patterns on it, especially on this whole ride up. What is this thing? I mean, this is what I'm first seeing. So when I look at this, I'm like, wow, how many times is it gonna do this? Like, is this just easy money on this one? So I love looking at things where I pick up on things like that. I'm like, wow, I can play those very easily. I mean, I know this is hindsight, but I mean, once again, if you have a base of TA, you'll understand exactly what you're looking at and look for it. Wow, that's cool. Let's go back to the rest of them. Take Two, CLTD, Billy Billy, Zynga. Zynga's one. Yeah, this is another one that's just a monster. People been home more. They've been buying these online games, and I didn't really think that people really bought that much stuff on here. But man, dude, I have some information which I can't really explain where, but dude, old people spend so much money on this stuff, and some companies have a rule where like you can't refund stuff after so many times. So if your child runs up like 10, 20 grand, well, you better not pay your phone bill or something. Kind of like Max that lost all his money in options for that tweet I posted. Bro, check out Ada. Yeah, let me check out Ada. I'm gonna check out Ada on this website though. Coin Trader. Cause I really want to see all of Ada. Oh look, Chainlink, dude. Chainlink did the impossible and fucking broke out through Ichi. This thing's a monster. Okay, this thing's going, going to China. Okay, this thing's going to the moon. Double digits, Chainlink, guaranteed. Not financial advice. Um, all right, ADA. We're gonna check USD pair first, cause I like the dollar. Ooh, man, dude, there's some hopium for you here, dude. Oh my God, it's at a major trend line that I drew, and Ichi setting up perfectly, dude. Is it time for ADA? I think it's time for ADA. ADA's setting up nicely. How do I explain this to you guys? Something to look at is sensitivity with Bitcoin versus altcoins. If Bitcoin is pumping and you're seeing some of those altcoins struggle, like I was showing you guys over here, where where'd they go? Where'd you shitcoins go? No. Okay. So yeah, like I was showing you guys the setups on Ichi over here on some of these things. Wrong settings, but if you scroll back to my video earlier, you'll see. So these setups were not set up nicely, and these are considered majors to me. When I look at Cardano, I don't consider that a major. I consider that a minor, and I consider that secondary to most of the major names like Ethereum, Litecoin, which is pretty much the major, and whatever else is normally in the top five or whatever, and Bcash and that kind of stuff. This one, however, is acting pretty nicely towards the sensitivity towards Bitcoin. We're having a price action pushed right to the top of the clouds. If this does form out poorly, which it most likely will, what you're going to want to look at is if Bitcoin does dump out, the minute Bitcoin dumps, pull up that ADA chart and see how it reacts. You have levels over here at 0.3 and 0304. These are the two levels I'd be looking at to see if we can get a support test and get a push back through and get back into the clouds because we are reaching diagonal resistance and we can see some sort of push here. This is what we'd want to see over here is get a push through here and come back. What I think is going to happen is something like this right over here. We have everything rising up nicely, but Bitcoin's going to do some crazy shit and dump, and then you're going to see ADA come down over here, form some sort of price compression, and then it'll start popping back up. So this is what I'm looking for over here. I know it's going to get rejected over here. I don't think it's going to do too good because we don't have confirmation, do we? Yeah, there's not a bullish TK coming up. I mean, it's coming up right now. The stuff is okay. It's just we're going to have to wait and see how it confirms. You can't even chase it right now. If you do, you're stupid. If you go long at it right now, give me your Bitcoin. I will give you my address. If you want to lose money so bad, give it to me. I will put it to great use. I will buy my dog's things and then I'll get rid of this horrible Yeti I have. So don't worry. If you want to lose your money so bad, give it to me. Um what else? What else? Well, Beast, you're okay. You're an investor on ADA. See, that's what you guys don't realize. You guys shit on Beast all the time for this, but my man is an investor, okay? He's not he's not trading his ADA. He's just always holding his ADA. Maybe he'll sell a little bit here and there. I don't even think he does that. So I think he just buys that shit and just keeps it away for a really long time. So he'll make money eventually, I hope. Uh, most investors do eventually. Gold storage, yes. So he does have that shit hidden away every time he buys it. So anybody who follows his stuff and is like, yeah, man, we're gonna make money on his ADA calls. They're not calls, bros. Those are investor calls. As in like, hey, you want to hodl for the rest of your life? Yes. Then follow that ADA call. But until then, watch your own risk management. Don't blame other people for your stupid mistakes. Dixie. Really important stuff coming up on Dixie. I guess printing out money in America means we're gonna push the price of dollar up. So don't you guys ever tell me that printing out money isn't the same thing as what XRP does, where they print out money, okay? We're basically being an XRP, except XRP goes down in value and US dollar keeps going up when we print. So I guess we're gonna keep going until we print too much out, and then everybody's like, oh man, what have we done here? Let's go ahead and go back down, boys. But right now, the main targets over here are 102 is the upper level that I'm looking at. Lower levels, we have several things over here. We have the 20 SMA on the daily. We're in some sort of channel right here. So lower levels, I'm looking around the 99 level. If we do end up losing 98, 99, we'll go ahead and see around this level, and then we'll have to go ahead and focus around the low 98s, high 97s, and see how we react over there. So nothing too crazy. I've been looking for some sort of crazy action like we did over here, but it's been pretty kind of slow. I mean, this is really lame for the last like week. This is like nothing. So we can actually, on that note, we can check VXX, and then I can go ahead and check if you guys have any tickers for me. Where's my volatility? Hey guys, I want this number to start going mooning back up. Not whatever this is. What are you guys doing here? VIX, let's check this one. Same thing. Not shit going on right now. So this is really slow and beat, and this isn't fun because volatility is your best friend in options trading. So when there's no volatility and you're gonna have to go ahead and it's slim pickings, then you gotta really look into there and find out what really moves and what fits your criteria. When things are just going crazy up and there's volatility, you pick a fucking direction and you go, and you'll most likely make money if you know what you're doing. NDX, I was drawing some sort of bearish C fork over here. This will likely be invalidated if we go ahead and break over this level because you guys can see that A for ace. Anybody play dot hack and they know what that A means. What else? Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and see tickers. What do you guys got for me? Post your tickers in either Restream, or I mean Periscope or Twitch. I'd prefer Twitch, and if you guys can retweet this, that'd be great, and we can do a little bit more chart request. I saw ExxonMobil pop up because my favorite viewer, don't worry about me, is asking for it. All right. Well, I would first like to say, big RIP to my profits because I lost so much money on ExxonMobil. I absolutely fucking hate this ticker. Let me give you an example about why I hate this ticker. I was long around over here, and this dumped over here, and I was like, this is fine. We'll be okay. Let me show you guys what happened here. Dude, this was not okay. None of this was okay. This was so bad for me. And I couldn't even cut out because that dump like really killed me. So yeah, this brings back bad memories on this one. But we'll look at it. Um, yeah, holding up the trend line. I think I did discuss this on the last stream. Holding the trend line, there are a little bit upper gaps over here, but we did fill most of them for the most part. So really, most of the target levels I'd be looking at right now are 51, 52 over here. If we continue to the upside of things, we do have earnings coming up, and it's right around the corner on May 1st. So for me, I am not an earnings player. I'm not good at earnings. I've played like a handful of earnings. Most of them were when I was inexperienced. The one I was experienced was I played a UPS earnings call. And the only reason I played that was because I was like, yo, they fucking suck at work. I'm like, I hate UPS. I'm like, we're gonna go ahead and short this. I'm like, and not only that, I knew that they had gotten kicked off. For something, not to be drivers, or maybe it was FedEx. One of the shipping people I did, and the short worked out just because of my own bias and knowledge. But yeah, that stuff does not work for me. I'm not good at reading financials. I'm not good at reading reports like that. So I just stay away from earnings. If I play earnings, it's going to be afterwards if we get an aggressive dump in a bull trend. CHK, let's check that. There's some shenanigans going on this one. I think what is this? Is this I didn't draw this, did I? What is this thing? Dude. Did it stop trading? Oh shit, this went negative too? Whoa. CHK went negative? I don't even know. I think they split, didn't they? Yeah, they had a split. Yeah, okay, yeah, stock split. Okay. Yeah, it was a stock split. I was gonna say, I was like, what the fuck? Um so yeah, I don't know how the options are priced for stock after the stock split. I don't really know how to trade stock splits. I just know that one time I played a stock. I had a bunch of stock one time, and it did a reverse stock split on me, and I lost all my money. And I was like, "Yo, this was supposed to be an investment. I was supposed to make money on this." And that was my first time experiencing a reverse one of those reverse stock splits. It was the worst thing of my life. Didn't like it at all. I was like, "Yo, this is such bull." I didn't get an alert either. Apparently, I'm supposed to research this stuff beforehand. So that was a lesson learned to not play stuff with stock splits. But looks like this was a good play with energy and oil reversing. It could also be a good play too because probably, I mean, this I keep hearing. I've heard this name so many times, but it's done nothing but leak. So there might be some possibility over here to play a longer term play and see if it can go ahead and recover. I can check even order flow in this one. See if there's anything interesting. CHK. Not shit. Probably no options on it now. PCG. Hold on, let me do the other ones. UCO. Okay, UCO I was interested in because Whale Bear Man was mentioning this to me. And not yet, though. Why do I have this line drawn? Oh, yeah. Shoot. Post reverse split. Dicker. Investors should stay away from oil on the 21st. Really, bro? What an interesting analysis. Dicker. Here's the 21st. Stay away from oil, right? And it pumps. Fucking liar. Fucking liar. Dicker, who is this at Yahoo Finance? Dan Dicker, founder of Energy World, you lying piece of shit. Yeah, I'd say it's a pass for me right now in UCO until I can see a little bit more recovery on the oil side of things. I read more into this oil stuff and the situation about it and how like crude oil and all this stuff really actually trades and everything. Um, Aside from what I'm already in with USO for the longs, I'm gonna go ahead and pass on oil, but I do have my eye on UCO. It is on a list, so I am gonna be watching this one. But for right now, me personally, it's just a pass until I can get a better, clear understanding of how bad this oil situation really is or what impact it's going to have. If nothing happens by June, then I'm all in. But until then, no. Uh, UCO is a scam. I keep getting UCO and USO confused. No, sir, how can you? They're two different letters, my mans. Yeah, man, don't long. Oh, wow, that feels degen to you, Porky, but not those spy puts or spy calls. You're funny, Porky. You're my man. You guys should follow Porky. XOP's one I would long though. The reason I would long XOP, I think I've told you guys this one before, several streams. I really liked some of the names that are on this ETF holding. XOP has names. EQT, so we'll go ahead and look at the 1 month returns. These were a lot higher. These were at 100% last stream, and so they've all go ahead and corrected a little bit. But big names weighted on this XOP ticker over here. COG, RRC, Chevron. CVX is one I could look at. I know people that work for that company. CVX. So this one really did really good too. So this has been riding up a little bit too. Chevron's one worth watching. I wouldn't mind go ahead and getting back into this one. As you can see up here, somebody clearly knew something was going on because it dumped and consolidated, and it had consolidation period in early February before it took a huge dump. So yeah, that pattern broke out horribly. I mean, it was being traded in for the whole time, price compressed, and price just leaked. Horrible. But there will definitely be a recovery in this one, I would say. Even 2008, when we did go ahead and dump aggressively, I would say this dump is actually worse than 2008's if I look at it just off viewing it. Like, yikes! This one, this one took a big hit. So I would say CVX had its recession dump. I don't believe it's gonna. We're gonna go ahead and sweep the lows on CVX. I would be fucking surprised if we sweep the lows on this one. See, this is what I mean. This is what upsets me is because I was literally logged in every single one of these days, able to buy all these things, but I got scared and just couldn't buy it, dude. I hate that stuff. Like everybody scared me when they're like, "Oh, V reversal's not gonna happen, bro. That's not gonna happen." Looks at chart, it's a V. Like, oh man, you guys are fucking wrong. And I know it's my fault because I shouldn't have been listening to people, but I mean I can't help it. I'm not like T-Mac. I'm not a robot. So if you don't, I'm buying SH. Yeah, it did happen, man. It's really nuts how it happened. SH is one I wouldn't mind longing if we do have more downside. So here's one. If I don't want to short SPY directly, I can always look the long SH. So that's the kind of things I look at. So like the whole time we were running down on SPY, everybody was like, "Yeah, man, let's grab some puts. Let's grab some puts." I'm like, "Well, they're so expensive for me." But when I looked at SH, they were a lot more reasonable over here at SH. So I'm gonna be looking for the same thing over here. If I zoom out a bit more. Just watching this diagonal over here, we're having resistance at the 20 SMA, so there's a possible chance we can go ahead and gap fill a little bit more and this goes down. So it is a little bit concerning because there's a lot of factors over here that are leading towards another pump on SPY. So very, very concerned about this one, but today's candle was, I mean, Yeah, this isn't looking too hot. Do I have any of my lines drawn? Are they all gone? Oh, they are gone. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Futures right now are tanking. We actually didn't go ahead and make that low over here, so that's amazing. Bearish retest on futures. Oh, man, I wish I was on my futures account. So yeah, big point that's going to be a little hard to break is going to be this consolidation area over here. We have wicks to the downside, that'll be an issue. We have upside issues, which will probably bring it back up, and then you got the consolidation area in general. So we'll be looking for reactions around here at this point since it's been breaking. So bearish for tomorrow is what I'm leaning towards, unless we can get some sort of recovery, because stock says it's oversold. No pumping allowed. I will go ahead and go over a couple of my long calls. I have longs on Ford. We'll see what happens over here. I'm playing monthly on Ford and gonna go ahead and assume we pop back up over there. What else do I have longs in? CS because they're gonna keep taking your money and charging people. But this monthly does look really ugly. But I'm in for 2022 for this one, so I don't mind this one that much. What else do I have? I'm trying to think. Oh, okay. I have Coca-Cola because every future. Oh, ew, ugh, dude, this is disgusting. If this is a bearish retest on the bottom on the monthly chart of Coca-Cola, I'm gonna lose all my money. Um, that's disgusting. So I really hope we can. Ah, dude, this is just. Ah, man. This is very ugly. So this is a very strong channel for Coca-Cola. And if this does end up losing this lower, if it loses it, it'll be really bad. I think we could probably see it coming back down underneath $40 again, and maybe even sweeping lowers. So really concerned about this one, but nonetheless, I am in Coca-Cola calls. Coca-Cola is not going to be going anywhere. If you've seen any futuristic movie, everybody's still drinking Coca-Cola. Even the fucking robots are drinking Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola and McDonald's are not going anywhere. I repeat, 10 years from now, you'll still be drinking Coca-Cola and seeing McDonald's, and McDonald's will still be fucking up your food, and you'll still get soda with too much ice in it. So yeah, boys, it's here to stay, and ladies. What else? CGC, pot stocks. What else we got in chat? Oh, PCG. I'm so sorry. And PCG. Nice. Porky, ask X Factor about this one. He's really good with this one. He likes trading this. But off the bat, I see this on the daily, so there is a possibility this can go ahead and pop up and continue. Let me zoom in. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing if there's any kind of upside to this one. Who's calling me? Hang on. Hello? No. Alright, bye. Oh, just checking on the dog. Yeah, Disney is, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up after this, but if you guys got any tickers or anything else, or you guys got other questions, I'm gonna actually go through the questions so I don't forget. Make sure there's nothing else that we have to check on. Um, Hacker Mayonnaise, do you have a Discord channel? I do, but I don't. At the moment, it is closed because I do not participate as much, so I feel bad inviting people when I don't participate in there as much as I do on Twitter. So that's the problem with that one. Um, if I am looking to trade day trade options, would Cheddar Flow be a good way to go? I'm not gonna lie, I would show that to you, and I do show that to you because that's the only thing I show to people is my affiliate link for Cheddar Flow because I have been using it for a year. But if you don't understand options or you don't understand trading, don't waste a free trial for Cheddarflow and don't waste your money buying something for a month that you're just going to be turned off by because you don't understand what you're doing. So Cheddarflow is good, but you need to become an order flow trader first, or at least understand how to read order flow before you can do that. And I thank Trader Keck for that one. He always was like, "Yeah, man, everybody wants to be an order flow trader." I'm like, "What fuck? This guy keeps saying this shit." So then I finally learned it because I was like, why does he keep posting these weird bubbles on the screens? So I got mad enough to where I was like, yeah, I gotta learn this. Can't keep having him talk shit. But he's my man. What else? Somebody said. Uh, Do you like trading within the range or do you like breakout trading? Range trading for options is going to be a lot harder if you don't understand it. Once again, everything comes down to if you understand it or not. So, um, if you do have super basic questions, you can DM me because it's all about individual people. I don't give you guys a broad thing because everybody's different. So if you have a question, DM me and I'll talk to you. But yeah, I like breakout trading them. I don't like doing the range thing. It's harder to follow order plays. I'm not a day trader, so I don't day trade those options really either. So I'm more of a swing trader. Um, You feel we are going to get a next leg down soon on Spy? I have no clue. I just watch Spy for the most part. Once in a blue moon, I'll play plays for it. I have a 420 call for January for it. That's about the only thing I really have for it. So, um, I don't know about Spy. It's looking strong. I'm not gonna lie. I'm super salty. I feel like I missed the bottom. So there's definitely that. Um, my Twitch stream schedule, I will have that up for you guys shortly. Yeah, that's it. Looks like. Yeah, guys. Yo, thank you very much, everybody, for joining. More people than normal here today, so you guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys. I will definitely try to get more videos in for you guys. But other than that, remember my DMs are open. Follow me, retweet this video, and I appreciate every one of you guys and Bagsy very much. Oh, you stayed here the whole time, Bags. You're the man, dude. Thank you guys, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.